What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here from GuitarJams.com. Hope you guys are doing great out there. Got a heavily requested tune for you guys right now. I'm going to bring it to you, show you some nice beginner chords, but then also spice it up with some cool tricks as well. So I think it's good for everybody out there. Also, you can try my website out. You know, got some real in-depth lessons there at the website GuitarJams.com. Got a link for it down there below this box. Thank you. I appreciate that extra support. Also, the social media stuff, too. Thank you. But let's zoom in right now and learn a little tune. Here we go. Okay, so there's basically 3 sections. What I want to do first is just show the full-on chords if you were just strumming it like a beginner, and then I'll get more intricate as we move along. So we want a D chord, and if you're a beginner, you could just totally do it this way. But then I'm also going to show you the fancy stuff. So we got a D chord. And then the next chord is D/F sharp. And he's playing it this way, which would be index finger moves over to the 2nd fret of the E. Middle finger is now on the 2nd fret of the G. Ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the B. And my hand's just kind of muting that high E there. You don't really hear it. Other people could play a D chord and then just put their thumb on that same note that I'm doing like this. Same chord. 2 options. 2 for 1. 2 for 1. Okay, so we got D/F sharp. Then we're going to do a G chord. And I'm going to keep my ring finger where it's been the whole time still for the G chord. And then an A chord. You can also do it this way. And that's the meat and potatoes of the song. D over F sharp, G, A. Keep on waiting on the world to change. When I get that feeling, I want sexual healing. On the world to change. Let's get it on. Oh baby, let's get it on. Waiting on the world to change. D over F sharp, G, A, D. So that's the main part of the song. Okay, the other section is E minor to A7. So we got E minor to A7, super easy chords, right to a D. So it's like E minor to A7, D. This time, there's no D. E minor to A7. Now this time, it's the same thing, but B minor instead of D. E minor, A7, B minor, then E minor to A7. Hold on A7, then back to the top. Okay, so here's that section again. E minor to A7 to D. Same thing without D. First one, but B minor instead of D, so A7, B minor, that B minor bar chord, then E minor to A7, to the top. So there's this little descending part. It's the only other part in the song, and it starts on a B minor chord, so that 2nd fret bar, A minor looking shape, and it's like chord, 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 chord. So it's good practice for your chord switching. We've got B minor, A, G, D over F sharp, which you can do either voicing. For this way, for this part going by so fast, for me it's easier to play a D with that thumb over the 2nd fret there. So you'd have B minor, A, G, D over F sharp, E minor, A7, D. B minor, A, G, D over F sharp, E minor, A7, D. So, you know, there's a little bit of that percussive thing going on, and a little bit of the, tricky tricky tricks going on, but it's still coming from all those chords I showed you. So let me show you one thing that's going on right in the very beginning. Got the D chord. You just hammer on that second fret of the G string, and you can do that anytime with the D chord. Okay, so you got that. So we're not really gonna play the high E at all if we're doing this finger kind of style. The high E is just not really in there. So we've got this little cluster right here. See that? So I'm kind of clawing that chord. I can hammer that on. So it's kind of like two plucks and then a slap down. Okay, then when I go to that next chord, that's that D/F sharp, I've got my fingers on that G and B string right there, and then my thumb is now going to play that bass note and the same rhythm pattern. So G chord, that middle finger is going to go up to that third, ring fingers on the third of the B, and I'm playing the same thing, the same strings with my right hand that I did on that slash chord. So same fingering with this hand. And then with the A chord, it's an A power chord. So I'm aiming for the A, D, and G strings there. But the cool thing is, if you're playing through those chords, if you hit a wrong string, it's still right in the song. It's just not exactly what is going on that recording. And so then this last little trick is like a kind of reminds me of the Beatles thing. What we're going to do is with that D chord, hammer on with your pinky, it's a little tricky, to that fourth fret of the G string there while you're playing that chord. And then off, so it's natural D chord, and then hammer on that like we did before. All right, check it off the list. Another tune for you guys. Hope it was good for you. Remember, I've got the links below this box, and I appreciate that extra support besides watching me here on YouTube. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again in another video. Take care.